On April 16, 2018, Closers NA has released its level 75 Planar Gate Raid update. In this raid, you can obtain extreme gear by upgrading your super gear by obtaining materials from the Planar Gate raids. There are two new raid bosses with this update. One is Vitus, a cat monster, and the next is Mephisto, a demon monster. I will go over the gimmicks of both raid bosses, how to deal with them, and the rewards you can get from doing these dungeons. I will first go over the gear requirements for this content. You will need at least 13,000 in-dungeon physical or psi raw attack stat, 300% combined crit damage, which consists of all the conditionals, over 70% combined crit rate, which includes all the conditionals, 40% cooldown reduction, and over 50% armor penetration of your class type. If you are at minimum spec, I highly recommend you to use consumables to boost your in-dungeon stats. These include Stat Juice, Strength Potion, Dragon Aura, Talismans, or any event boosts that you may have. At minimum spec, the dungeons may be challenging, but should take under 10 minutes if you are in a full party of minimum specs. Someone of this spec should be able to clear the skirmish difficulty of the raid with relative ease in under 7 minutes. To breeze through this content, you will need the following. I will explain the attack patterns of Vitus first. The moment you enter, Vitus will attack you with high speed, high damaging moves. You can tank it or avoid it by using combat dodge. Vitus is also capable of grabbing you. If you are grabbed, Vitus will begin to combo. If you are a squishy character, I recommend to use cancel there. Unlike Tiamat and Mephisto, all of Vitus' attack patterns happen at specific HP intervals. The attack patterns at these health intervals are the same at every single run. Vitus' first gimmick will have him jump across the divide. He will also begin to channel a global shout dealing very high damage over time. There will also be shrinking blue circles appearing along the edge of the divide. Get to these blue circles, and once you're on them, do not move. After a few moments, these blue circles will explode, pushing you into the air and giving you invulnerable frames. These invulnerable frames will help you outlast the roar. You will need to get to the other side of the divide in order to get more of these blue circles. There's actually 3 jumps for this one. I recommend you to get to the other side if you don't have many invulnerable frames. Vitus' second gimmick has him generate a shadow version of himself. While this shadow version is active, he will gain a huge damage reduction buff, as well as channel a huge skill. To beat this gimmick, you need to destroy the shadow before Vitus finishes channeling. Vitus' next gimmick has him summon 2 crystals, one on each side of the divide. Destroy the crystals to beat the gimmick. Vitus' next gimmick will make him untargetable. He will begin to channel a vortex to the middle of the divide. If you get close to the divide during this phase, you will take damage, so keep your distance. Be careful of the lightning. If you get hit by it, you'll probably be sucked into the vortex. In skirmish, he will generate a bubble instead. You must stay inside the bubble for the entirety of the gimmick to survive. When Vitus reaches 10 bars of health, he will enter a transformation. He will cripple your attack stats while increasing his own. Kill Vitus to end the gimmick and to finish the dungeon. That concludes the attack patterns for Vitus. If this is all you needed, you can close the video now. In this next section, I will go over the attack patterns of Mephisto. Mephisto is the less gimmicky of the two. His attack patterns are straightforward and easy to handle. His AI is also kind of wonky. He usually stands around doing nothing. I will be going over the attack patterns of Mephisto now. Mephisto has a lot more attacks of indicators that I won't cover in this video for the sake of time. As a rule of thumb, try to use combat dodge or skills that give you damage reduction when you see huge rectangular indicators on the ground. Mephisto will begin by chasing the players and to attack with his basic attacks. Mephisto's attacks are heavily telegraphed and does not do that much damage compared to Vitus. Mephisto also have a grab. It is far less lethal than Vitus's though. You can pop a potion and it's highly likely that you'll survive. Mephisto's first gimmick has him teleport to the center of the map. He begins to charge up a large AoE roar. You need to run to one of the blue circles to avoid the damage, but each circle can only take one person, so be sure to coordinate with your team. These circles will appear in either a cross pattern or an X pattern. Another one of Mephisto's gimmicks has him teleport to the door. He then summons 2 waves of fireballs. Coming into contact with the fireballs with the red indicator will deal heavy damage to your character. The fireballs with the blue indicators will not do any damage. You can run through the correct fireball, or you can cheese the gimmick by standing in a specific spot at the door as shown in the video. When Mephisto reaches 30 bars of health, he will teleport to the door again and summon a seal stone. During this gimmick, he will send fireballs to destroy the seal stone. Protect the seal stone by blocking the orange fireballs and avoiding the blue ones. If the seal stone is destroyed, Mephisto will release an AoE roar which will deal heavy damage. When Mephisto reaches 10 bars of health, he gains a significant damage increase. Kill him to end the dungeon. That concludes the guide for the attack patterns of these bosses. If that was all you needed, you can click off the video. The rewards and gear you get from PG75 is a bit different than the previous contents we've had so far. I'll be answering some of the questions that you might have from the rewards of the PG75 raids. Number 1. Should I get an extreme weapon core? Do not get it if you have a creator core already, since creator cores are stronger than the extreme core. If you don't, then go for it. It may not be as strong as the creator core, but it's close. Also note that it upgrades from your super core, and does not retain enhancement levels or chips, so I recommend upgrading a clean weapon, one without enhancement or chips. As for which type to upgrade, it depends on your playstyle. If you have a fast playstyle, you can upgrade the rapid core or the nimble core. If you want to hit hard, you could upgrade the scythe, the mystic, or the brutal core. If you want to upgrade what everyone else is upgrading, it's either brutal core, scythe, or mystic. Which gear is relevant for a while? The trinket set along with the module is very relevant, even past this content. You can check out a guide made by Yosafire. He updates a document which states the best gear for each class. I have the link in the description. Number 3. What is Athena? Athena's set is a very strong set for raiding. It consists of a weapon core, a trinket, and a module. The Athena gear gives huge bonuses against transcendent types, which includes many raid bosses. It's not as impressive outside of raid content though. One more thing to note is that Athena is purely RNG. There's no way to craft it. The only way to get it is to get it from a drop, or to buy it from the black market. Number 4. What are these equipment that I'm getting from Vitus and Mephisto? They are boss-specific crafting materials. They are used to craft your extreme cores and modules and trinkets. Do not feed these to the dismantler. You will be met with disappointment. You can convert them into pure alien pressure valves, which is a material for crafting extreme gear, by going to the crafting stations of your class type and under the change tab to the right of Bana. And this concludes my guide to the PG75 raids of level 75. If you have any questions, post it in the comments below and I'll try to answer. If you found the video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next raid. Have fun!